Hey you guys, it's Crystal from the Abundantly Blessed Homestead. It is Tuesday night. It's 5:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm hoping this is coming through. Clearly, I have had phone issues all day long. So, I am hoping that this ends up working. So anyway, tonight we are going to be making an easy summer meal. It's been so hot all over the United States. We are making chicken taco salad. We're going to make our own delicious taco dressing that goes on the top. I'm just going to be doing lettuce and tomatoes. Let's see what else. I have some canned chicken I'm going to be putting on the top. I'm going to be topping it with some corn and some black beans and let's see what else. Oh, peppers. I've got lots of these like cute little mini peppers that I'm going to chop up and put on the top. But you could do all sorts of things. You could do avocado. You could do a lot of different toppings. So anyway, the first step is going to be making some mayonnaise. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that while we wait for some people to jump on because that always takes a couple of minutes. So I do have a video on how to do this. And I've done it in several other lives, but I'm going to make homemade mayonnaise. It's actually really, really easy. The first thing that we have to do is get another bowl. Hang on one second here. We'll go right here. And stick around because we are going to be talking about next week's recipe. And then also we're going to be talking about what's happening in our world these days with food costs. And some ideas I have, because this channel, I'm creating it to help you guys. This is not for me at all. And so I want you guys' input on how I can help you better. So stick around for that discussion as well. So I'm taking, these are farm fresh eggs, but 2 eggs. And I'm going to separate out the yolk and put them into the bottom of a quart size canning jar. I've tried this in other size jars, and it's never worked for me. So I just keep coming back to the quart size. Okay, so the eggs are on the bottom, as you guys can see. I'm going to go ahead and put probably the equivalent to half of a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. You could also use like yellow prepared mustard if you don't have Dijon mustard. Mayonnaise is so easy to make, and store-bought mayonnaise is full of highly processed oils that are actually rancid. So this is just a much healthier option. So the next thing you're going to need is an immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, you could try to do this process in a food processor. I've never had luck with that, but I've had people who have had luck with that. And then what I have here is 1.5 cups of mixed oils. This is 50% organic avocado oil and 50% organic olive oil. The key is to pour this mixture into your eggs very, very slowly while blending it. I'm also going to add, I always just do a splash, but I believe the technical amount's a tablespoon and a half, but you can go back and double check me on my own video on how to make mayonnaise. So I'm just going to start blending this and then pour the oil in slowly. Pour the oil in too quickly, you'll end up with a really, really watery mayonnaise, which is not the end of the world because we're technically making a dressing anyway. But if you're going to be putting it on a sandwich, you would obviously want it to be thicker. going to be very, very yellow looking mayonnaise until the apple cider vinegar hits it, and that will turn it white. So that's what we want, is a nice thick mayonnaise. You guys can see that. That would go on a sandwich. And it only took, what, 2 minutes to make that? That's not bad. And if I added up the cost of the mayonnaise, I betcha it's cheaper than the organic stuff from the store. And it doesn't have any soy in it. So that is a double bonus. I'm going to go rinse this off. I'll be right back. I always try to clean the immersion blender up right away because it's can get caked on there, and it's really hard to clean around that blade without cutting your finger. Okay, so let me go grab one more jar. We're going to make up our dressing right away. Okay, so the only thing you need to know about this dressing is that we're going to do equal parts of everything. So we're going to do, if you're going to do a cup of mayonnaise, you're going to do a cup of sour cream, and you're going to do a cup of salsa. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt. That's all there is to this mayonnaise. It's super easy. So I'm just going to estimate at a cup of mayonnaise. It does not have to be measured out. It does not have to be a science. It can be very easy. I give you permission to make it easy. And to rinse my spoon off. Okay, so my approximation of 1 cup of sour cream. I'm going to be using Daisy brand sour cream today. If you can't afford organic, or in my case, I went to the local store here that was closest to me and they don't sell organic, look for Daisy. It's an okay brand. Okay, so that's my guess at about a cup of sour cream. And then, I gotta dry off my hands so I can open up the salsa. I'm going to be using organic salsa. I bought this from Azure Standard. Maybe if I can get it open. Or not. Might have to go for the homemade stuff. Which is fine. I just bought extra of this stuff for our trip and I have it left down over, so. Like I said, my approximation of 1 cup, which is about half of one of these jars. This is 16 ounces, so half would be 8 ounces, which is 1 cup. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add 1 can of, if you can afford organic and find organic, mild green diced chilies. Just going to dump it into the top here. Go ahead and do 1 teaspoon of salt. If I can find the one with the label. Hang on a second. There it is. So we want healthy salt. This is Redmond's real salt. This is a really good salt. We want colored salt. You could also do sea salt. You could do pink Himalayan salt. Just something with color. The color in the salt be able to break down and utilize the salt itself. That's the way it was created. When you buy white salt, they've actually stripped all those minerals out of your salt. So your body needs minerals so it can handle salt in the proper way. Okay, so I said 1 teaspoon of salt. And I could use the immersion blender for this, but I'm just going to use a spoon. And we're just going to stir it on up. If I would have used a little bit bigger of a jar, I could shake it up. But I guess the point is there's a lot of ways to get it done. Just make sure it gets well mixed. I'm going to get some of this on my hands. Oh, well. And that's all there is to the dressing, you guys. It's so good. If you wanted it spicier, you could use medium or even hot salsa. I used mild because my kids don't like spice. But you sure could crank up the spice a little bit by increasing the spice on your salsa. All right, I am going to, should I do that? There's just a little bit of mayonnaise down at the bottom that I can't quite reach with that spoon. And it's bothering me that I can't reach it. We'll try this spoon. Hey, if you're just jumping on, I just made the dressing. I can tell you what's in it if you'd like. I made a batch of homemade mayonnaise. You basically need 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 cup of your choice of salsa, 1 can of diced green chilies, and a teaspoon of salt. And we just mix it together. I am going to go find a lid for this, and we're actually going to put it in the refrigerator so it can just chill while we're waiting to make the rest of the salad. These little leak-proof lids by Ball are absolutely amazing. I should probably wipe this jar off. And if you're just jumping on right now and you need me to tell you the ingredients in this dressing again, comment down below and I will do it. Because there wasn't anybody on for a while, so I would be happy to repeat them. All right, so I'm going to move this to the refrigerator. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, I got my ingredients from the local store. It's a lot closer for me. The closest organic store is almost an hour drive away. It's like 45 to 50 minutes. And then when you add the road construction in, it's an hour. So I went ahead and went to the local store. So this is not organic. This is what was available. But this is lettuce that is locally grown in a greenhouse. So it's pretty good. And I don't think they spray. So anyway, I'm going to rinse this off and we're going to get to chopping them. Hey, Carl. It's still warm here, but it's not 100 degrees, which is great. All right. So when it comes to salad, sure, you could buy the dump and go bags of lettuce, but it's cheaper to buy heads of lettuce. If you're really, really hard on money, you could just pay for the, what's it called? Iceberg lettuce, but iceberg lettuce doesn't actually have many nutrients in it at all. So if you have a choice, reach for romaine lettuce. This is not going to work with that knife. Let me see if I can find my other knife. It's the days of hide and seek for me. Oh, I see it. Hang on a second, guys. It's It's in the clean dish rack, but it's buried, so hang on. There we go. This is my favorite knife for cutting the lettuce. So yes, the cheapest way to make a salad is by buying heads of lettuce and chopping it yourself. So that's what I'm going to do. Next week, we're going to make a yummy recipe as well. We'll get to that recipe here in just a little bit. I'm glad you could make it, Carl. This is a very, very easy meal. It is really, really hot here, so I try not to use my stove at all. In fact, I don't know how many of you saw my little quick video. I actually bought a rotisserie convection oven last year. And it's big enough to fit a 13 by 9 pan. And so I actually just plug that in outside, and I do all my baking outside. Because I just can't see, you know, that was the one thing we learned when we lived off grid, was that our appliances heat a building up so much, and obviously the oven would be the worst. Dryer is probably second. So since we're paying for electricity to run the AC unit, we should really be warming our food up outside. But salad is an easy meal. Doesn't require any special cooking by anybody. We're just chopping and dumping. I'm going to go get my last head of lettuce here. I'm feeding a big family of 7, so I need 3 heads of lettuce. My kids are huge salad eaters, so they will go up for multiple plates. So one thing I did want to mention is today I went over, some of you guys might know about Mary's Nest. It's another channel here on YouTube that does traditional cooking. Anyway, and I've been subscribed to her channel for lots and lots of years, and she kind of has her channel more geared towards like just kind of easing people into stuff. She's got some more complex videos, but she also does a really, really good job at like taking her arm and putting it around a newbie and making things like they're not so complicated. So I can appreciate that. But anyway, she put out a video today talking about being, what did she say? Hang on, I wrote it down. Her whole video is titled, How to Cook with Economy and Grace. So we are going to be talking about that today. I know that a lot of people out there are struggling with all the rising costs with everything. And I want to be able to help you guys the best I can with that. You know, my family's not immune to that either, and so I just want you guys to know I do see it. I'm not blind to that or immune to the rising food costs. So we're going to talk about ways that I've come up that maybe I could help you after we get done making the salad, and we'll just see what you guys think. But her video is very, very good up on her channel. Okay. Carl says, triple digits here since Sunday until Thursday. Welcome to air conditioning. Yes. Oh, regrow it? How do you regrow it, Carl? This? I was just going to throw it out to my chickens and have them turn it into eggs, but I don't know how to do that. Do I like soak it or something? I'll leave them over here instead of throwing them out the door. Okay. The next thing I'm going to rinse off are my little mini peppers. I've never actually regrown lettuce before. I had a friend regrow celery, you should just like put the bottom of it into a jar of water. So I'm just going to chop up, I have a whole bunch of different colored little mini bell peppers that I'm going to add. You wouldn't have to add this, but I'm going to add some. I love the color. The color it gives the salad, plus it's delicious. Adds lots of flavor to the salad. My favorite is the orange pepper. Okay. How are the bees, Carl? I don't know where everybody's at. Oh, we have 3 now. Hey, you guys. I was beginning to think it's just going to be me and Carl for the night, which is okay. I'd rather be at his house, so he's got honey. I've still got your jar of honey, though. I told the kids they can't have it. It's mine, and so I still use it for my little cheesecake. My little homemade whipped cheesecake when Mommy's feeling stressed out. I still got that jar. Everybody else is using the, what's it called? Prairie Rock honey, which they ship all over the United States. They're really, really good to their bees. They're a really good bee company. Okay. Last one, guys. And then, like I said, we're going to top ours with already canned up chicken. If you don't know how to can your own chicken, I do have a video up on how to do this. It's step by step. I use reusable Tattler canning lids. I love these. It's a way to fight against rising tin costs and whatever else shortages that they want to tell you are existing. Because they're reusable. You just wash them and reuse them next time. And the website to buy them is reusablecanninglids.com. So I'm just going to get the canned chicken on out. This is our own chicken that we grew last year. You could also buy canned chicken from the store. Whatever works. You could slow cook some up inside a slow cooker as well. Whatever gets you to have the most nourishing meal that you can afford and that you can do. Okay. I'm like double checking for bones because that seems to be an issue. Nobody wants bones inside their salad. All right, I'm going to go on to tomatoes. Which I brought all the way up from Arkansas. Isn't that crazy? They're actually from Iowa. So they went from Iowa to Arkansas and then back to South Dakota. Check that out. What a road trip for these little things. I had to buy tomatoes when I was down in Arkansas. And then we ended up not using them. So they came home with me. Along with a lot of other food. I was surprised at how little food we ate on our vacation. But we're too busy swimming and playing miniature golf and all that stuff. So you could chop your tomatoes whatever size you want. We're just topping this salad with whatever you'd like. And you could put avocado on there as well. My kids are not big avocado fans unless it's made into like guacamole. So I'm going to be skipping that. But avocado would be delicious on top of this. Okay, onions, garlic bottoms can be resprouted by soaking only the root end in water. Should work for any root's end. Oh, really? That's fascinating. I suppose that makes sense. I might just have to try that as an experiment. I've never regrown lettuce before, but that'd be cool. And then could you just like plant it in the ground? Is that how that works? Just like get it to regrow its roots and then Put it inside my garden, because that'd be cool. Bees knock on my door wanting to cool off. Oh, I betcha. Just have to make sure they have plenty of water. Yeah. It's the same thing with our goats and stuff. We've been going around, because we had over 100 degrees yesterday. We've been going around and checking their waters multiple times a day, too. Hey, everybody. We got 7 people in here right now. People finally realize it's Tuesday at 5:15. Well, it's 5:42 now, but we're still on. We're still making our salad. I'm just about done, and then we're going to go on to the next topic. So I'm going to go throw these tomatoes out to the chickens. What else can I throw out to the chickens? Not the lettuce. And go over to the peppers. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go convert these to eggs. That is the one awesome thing about being on a farm is like you just convert all of your stuff to eggs. It's just great. Okay, so this salad, is it done? I think it's done. This salad's done, you guys. Very, very, very pretty, very, very delicious. You could put some more peppers on it if you wanted to. I might, I don't know. One of my kids does not like bell peppers, so. And then, like I said, we made the dressing in the beginning of the video, so if you missed that, you'll have to go back and watch for the replay. Donnie says, I take bottom of romaine lettuce and add it to a cup with water in it. But you don't submerge it, right? You just submerge just the root part, right? Because if you put the whole thing in, it won't grow, right? I've just never done it before. Okay, I'm going to clear off my counter, and we're going to read the yummy recipe for next week. Also going to be an easy one for the heat. Because we're supposed to have the heat not go away for a while. I'm going to try moving my phone around because it says that my phone has a weak connection, which it's had all day long. Okay. So next week we are going to make, hang on, spicy ranch chicken tacos. The ingredients that I'm going to read off to you are for 6 tacos. So if you need more than that, you'll have to do more. Also, I'm going to be making my own corn tortillas right here on the live for the tacos. So if you wanted to follow along with that, you're going to need corn mesa harina flour, water, lard, and salt. I have that memorized now. Or you could look for sprouted tortillas inside your store. If your store doesn't have them or you can't afford those, get yourself some good corn tortillas. Okay, so spicy ranch chicken tacos. You need 24 ounces of chicken that's already been cooked. So I'm going to be using canned chicken. You could go to the store, buy a whole chicken, put it into the crock pot with some water, make yourself some meat broth. When you drain the water off, take the meat off of the chicken, add more water and apple cider vinegar. I have a video on how to do this. And then make yourself some bone broth. But anyway, we need 24 ounces of cooked chicken. You're going to need 3/4 cup of mayonnaise, sour cream, some dill weed, not dill seed. There's a big difference in flavor there. Parsley, chives, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, lemon juice, and raw apple cider vinegar, chili powder, and if you want to spice it up even more, some cayenne powder, and then the tortillas, and then whatever you want to top it with. You could do lettuce, tomato, onions, sour cream, cheese, avocado, all those things. You guys will have to let me know if I'm even still connected because my phone is being wonky. I've had horrible service all day. Okay. And now we're going to go into the next topic. And I'm glad there are more people on. The next topic is our economy and food and rising prices and really, really tight budgets, which I totally get, all of that stuff. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like, okay, Carl, that's awesome. I'll do that. Maybe if I put it like in a, I don't know, maybe a bowl or something, huh? A bowl. I was thinking a canning jar, but I don't think that's going to work. I'll have to look around. Okay. Anyway, the reason why I want to talk about everyone's budget and everything else is because a couple of reasons. First of all, a couple of you guys have commented. I don't know if you guys are on live right now, but a couple of subscribers have commented on my Azure videos. I don't know what the other one was, but just about like how much it must cost to feed my family, and just kind of like surprised, you know, that it's got to be a lot of money, which it is. It's a lot of money. So anyway, I had one subscriber ask me today what my husband does. And so my husband does not do anything fancy, you guys. If you guys are expecting him to be a doctor or a lawyer or something fancy, he's not. My husband actually is a foreman for a local construction company. So he's one of the lead foremen. So he's not making like doctor type of money. The difference between our household and a lot of other households is that we're debt free. And that is something that we've been working on for like 12 years. And so that's why I'm actually able to stay home with our kids, is because we are debt free. It took a lot of work to get here, but once you get here, your budget frees up a lot. And when I say debt free, I mean we've gone through the process of like paying off our house, so we actually don't have any mortgage. If we had a mortgage of like $1,500 a month, there's no way I'd be eating organic. Which leads me to the next thing, which is I don't want anybody who ever watches my videos to feel like if you met me in person or if you know me in person, that I'm going to judge you for eating not organic. That is not my goal in doing this channel. My goal in this channel is to present you with what you could do, and then you guys take the information and you guys buy what you can afford, buy what fits within your budget, and still make stuff from scratch. You could make any of the videos that are here on my channel with totally regular food that you buy from the grocery store. In fact, you know what, tonight, look, it's not organic, guys. And it's going to go on top of our salad. I'm going to crack this open, drain it, and the kids can add their beans. I can't have beans right now because I'm healing my cavities. But we're going to have regular black beans. These are not organic. And regular sweet corn, also not organic. Like I said, I went to the closest store so I didn't have to pay for gas for 2 hours. And I bought what they had. So my point in saying all of that is that my channel is here to help you, to incorporate, toothpicks work as that's a good idea, Carl. My goal is to help you guys go from boxed foods to from scratch. So if you're following my recipes and you need to not buy organic because it's not in your budget, don't feel guilty about it. Buy what you can, and just know that cooking from scratch is still way better than buying something from a box or going through the drive-thru. Just know that there's no guilt from me to you or judgment. Okay, I don't want to make anybody feel guilty about the food that you are buying for your family. I'm in a position right now because of what we've done over the last 10 years that we can afford to eat this way. Had we not done that, we would not be eating this way. So just know, there's no judgment here. I want you guys to be able to afford what you guys can afford and kill this fly that's buzzing around my head. It is summer, so they are now out and about, and we're on a farm. So probably the rest of my videos for the next 3 to 4 months are going to have flies in them. This is what it is. Okay, so another thing I wanted to say too was that even if all you can afford are beans and rice, put apple cider vinegar on your list. Because if you're properly preparing those, that's okay. You're being fed. So maybe you cook it in some broth. Maybe you can't afford meat, so you cook all that stuff in broth, so you're still getting the nutrients. So I just want you guys to know that I see you. I see what's happening. I know that a lot of you guys are struggling, and I'm trying to brainstorm where I fit into helping you guys down this path. So if you have any ideas of what I could do on this end to help you, put them in the comments, okay? Because I want to hear from you. Or you could email me if you don't want your comment for everyone else to read. My email address is abhomestead22@gmail.com. I want this channel to be able to help you. So basically the moral of the story is I want you guys to feel like you guys are doing the best you can with what you have. As food prices rise, I might not be able to always buy organic. I want our community to be a community where all of us are at different points and we're all at different budget points, but we're all making the same meal. And so if all you can afford is unorganic stuff, that's okay. If you guys want to go over and watch Mary's Nest's video, she has a couple of books that you could buy. They're not her books, but they're books she's read. But her title to her video was How to Cook with Economy and Grace. And she just took like an hour. It's a quite long video, and talked about just like having grace with each other, because not everyone makes as much money as someone else. And so just coming into the realization that we're all doing the best we can, and we're living in crazy times right now. If you can just push yourself to do the best you can cooking from scratch, you're doing way better than a lot of Americans. And cooking with scratch, learning to cook from scratch is much, much cheaper than buying boxed foods. I know sometimes it feels like you go and you pay $1 something for macaroni and cheese or what have you, but if you were to actually price out the macaroni, you could get a whole pound of macaroni. You could, and then making the cheese sauce, it's actually cheaper to make it from scratch. Same thing with like mixed things like taco seasoning. That's why I have a video on how to make that. So you guys can do that, and that's much, much cheaper than buying the little packets of taco seasoning. Same thing with ranch dressing, the little packets. It's way cheaper. Even if you compare non-organic spices to the non-organic mix, it's still cheaper every time. So as you advance your skills and you learn how to make some of this other stuff, then that will free your budget up little by little to spend a little bit more. So when I'm making my videos and I'm saying grass-fed, pastured eggs, all of that stuff, that would be the ultimate goal for everyone, or it should be. But if you can't afford that, then you're looking for eggs and you're looking for beef. What's most important is that you're feeding your family and you're still feeding them non-processed foods. So that's what I wanted to say. I was just going to also go over some other, like how much we spend on our groceries, because I know a lot of people are interested, okay? So I did some math today and figured it out. So for us, with meat, we buy all of our meat at once. In other words, this last spring we purchased like a whole pork from a farmer. Went to the butcher store, got butchered, we brought it back. So we have all of that pork. If you do it that way, it's much, much cheaper than going to the store and buying pork cuts. So we did that. We've also done that in the past with like a whole beef. Oh, thanks, Carl. We've also done that in the past with whole beef. We've done that with chickens because that's easy. You can go to a farmer and buy a whole chicken from him. One thing major happened when we moved out here to the homestead was that we started raising our own chicken. And so we just have the cost of feed in that case. So what I ended up doing was I calculated how much we would be spending if we did not raise our own meat here. And this is also taking into consideration that I do a garden, you guys. I have a large garden. I do a lot of canning. I try to grow a lot of our own tomato products. I'm going to be very, very transparent about this. So our budget might be $150 more than this if I didn't grow anything. I don't know, because when I started cooking from scratch, I was already canning. So basically what I want to say is I know many of you guys watched the Azure order. The last video, was the last video? Second to last video I posted. That was my Azure order, and that order came to $820. Now, the Azure order of $820, that's actually for 2 months. I order every month from Azure, but what I have found, and I know I've said this in previous videos, is that if you can select 8 meals and take them all times, in this case it would be for 2 months, so however many weeks you have, I choose 8, I used to choose 7, and then we kind of got sick of the 7 meals after eating them for 8 weeks. And so I threw an 8th one in there now, so that if we're sick of something or we need something to be, kind of shake things up a little bit, then we have that 8th meal to lean on. But if you do it that way, and if you can afford to do it that way, I'm going to sneeze. If you can afford to do it that way, then you will save so much more money. I have cut $300 a month out of our food budget just by buying in more bulk than what I already was doing. Also, these prices are all Azure goods. I'm also not going to pretend like Azure is the cheapest place to buy food, because on some stuff it's not. A lot of times you can go to Walmart and buy something that's even organic for cheaper than you can buy from Azure. I also do not have a Costco membership anymore. I'm sure you could do that. My nearest Costco is 2 hours away and would be well over $100 worth of gas. So that membership went bye-bye as soon as gas prices were up. Actually, it went bye-bye with COVID, just on a moral standpoint. But now for sure it's not coming back because there's no way I'm going to make up that kind of money in gas. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, I ordered from Azure because number one, it's easier. It comes once a month. If I can figure out all of my ingredients that I need, it gets delivered just 20 minutes up the road. I'm there for 20 minutes, get all of my groceries, and I'm gone. And sometimes I don't even unload my kids out of the car. So that's even better because all you mamas out there who are watching, who have ever shopped with your children, know that it's not very relaxing at all. So I love Azure for all those reasons. So anyway, these are Azure prices. Like I said, I'm not going to say that it's cheapest, okay? So $820 was for 2 months. So what I do is this month was the bulk of our groceries, so dairy, all that stuff. And then next month will be just filling up my pantry. So I look through and say, what spices do I need? What oils do I need? What fats do I need? And that will hit next month, which will be around $500. So if I take those two and I divide them by 2, it's $660 a month that we're eating in groceries. Now, if we weren't growing our own food, we would be spending I'm estimating, between $200 and $250 a month on meat. And that's just going off of like all the chickens that we produce, like if we were to go buy them, and then adding that to the pork and other stuff that we buy. So then you're looking at $910 a month for 7 people, which comes down to about $1.44 per person per meal. So it's still not bad. We also choose to buy raw milk, which adds another $150 a month for our large family onto our grocery bill, which is why I have dairy goats. I cannot wait to not have that $150 a month. It's just going to be great. So anyway, then that increases it a little bit to $1.68 per person per meal when you do the math. So it's still not horrible. And that's eating almost exclusively 100% organic. So that leads me to my next topic, for those of you who have stayed on this long. And that is, I want to know how I can help you. So obviously I can't send you money, and you can't send, well, I mean, you could send me money, but for groceries, okay? So how can I help you? I have gone through YouTube. I've looked at several other like non-organic, non-from scratch videos about people taking the camera and going shopping and showing you how many meals they can make for $20. Obviously, mine would not be $20. I've seen people do like a day in the life where they take the camera and they show you what they ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I could totally do that for you. If you guys need more breakfast ideas or more lunch ideas, totally willing to do that. Another thing that I was thinking about that might be helpful is if I provided a live, or not, maybe not live, but live I thought might be kind of fun, meal planning, because I typically meal plan every 2 months. And I could do that live. I could come on and we could talk about what the upcoming recipes we're going to be making, which will all be on video. I make every single one of my recipes here live for you guys. But we could talk about all of the ingredients that you're going to need to buy. I could do that. I just need to know how I can help you guys. So if you guys have any suggestions, put them down in the comments. I was trying to think of, like, because a lot of these videos I watch on YouTube, or was watching to kind of do research, see how are the other channels helping their subscribers. And a lot of that stuff, yeah, they can get 20 meals for $50 because a lot of it's processed. So, and my stuff's obviously going to be organic. So basically, when you're looking at an organic meal versus a non-organic meal, the price is going to be about 50% higher. At least. Sometimes it's double. So just depends on what you're buying, what you're making. But I could totally make some videos like that. We could talk that whole thing if you want. I just have to know how I can help you guys. So one thing also to keep in mind is that the recommendation from the Weston A. Price Foundation is 3 ounces of protein per person. So keep that in mind when you're making meals. I typically do that anyway. I mean, unless we're going to have like a big meatloaf and everybody goes up for like 2 or 3 pieces, then obviously you're eating way more than 3 ounces. But if you're making a lot of those type of meals, then maybe you can cut back that way as well to save some money. But that is all I got. You guys should comment. What are people thinking? How are you guys feeling about this whole thing? How can I help you? Does anyone have any ideas? I'm going to open my cans while I wait for comments. If anybody can comment. I know Carl can, but I want to be able to help whoever I can. I'm just trying to brainstorm. Because as things get a little bit more expensive and more expensive, you know, I have a really, really great friend who is strictly Weston A. Price and cooking the way I do, and things are just getting so tight for her family. She's having to think about how she can replace items to take a step down from the expense in order to be able to feed her family. So, you know, however I can help. I'm just draining the corn. I'm going to go drain the beans as well. And I'm probably going to rinse them by adding some filtered water here. Hang on a second. There. So yeah, that's what we got. I could do a video on, well, you know, I don't know. I was going to say I could do a video on, like, if you can't afford this, then buy this. But you know what's a really good resource for that is when you become a member to the Weston A. Price Foundation, they send you this booklet every year. And it's only $40 to become a member. And they send you a booklet. And it's the booklet. It has different levels. It has good, better, and best. So it has all the brands that are rated good. So if your budget's tight, you could buy that stuff. If you have a little bit more money, you could move it up into the better category. And if you have money to spend and you can go above that, then you go to the best section. So that's a really, really good resource to have. But I'm just trying to think about how I can help you guys. But maybe cooking is enough. I don't know. But if you guys are one of those that watch the replay, because I know a lot of people watch the replay, we typically have between 12 and 15 people jump in and out of these lives. But then after we get off live, we have anywhere from 30 to 80 people jump on afterwards and watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay and you have a suggestion, put it down in the description, down in the comments, not the description box, down in the comments down below. I will also link Mary's Nest video down in the description. It will take me a few minutes, but that's a really, really good one to go watch. Eating is one thing. Nutritioning is another. Help us to understand healthy nutrition. Right. Yeah. I usually say there's a difference between being fed and nourished. Because there's a big difference. And you can still be nourished even if you're not buying organic. It's just your toxin load's a little bit higher for your body. But if you are nourished, even on that level, your body will handle the toxins a lot better than if you were just being fed and you're just being fed processed stuff. So the cleaner you could eat, the better, but we all need to recognize that not everybody can eat that way and not everybody will be able to continue to eat that way as things progress. So, but I hear you. Yeah, eating is one thing. It is. I'm trying to think about how else I can help you guys to understand nutrition. Maybe I'm already doing enough. I don't know. I just feel like because of the way everything's going that I should put it out there that if anybody knows how else I could do it, to let me know. Maybe you have another YouTuber that you watch that you really enjoy and you'd like me to do that. I could sure do that. Whatever it is, unless it's cooking out of a box, then I'm not going to do that. But anyway, there's a lot of good YouTube channels out there to watch. So anyway, if you guys have any suggestions about how I can help you during these rough times, let me know. Like I said, you guys could email me. The email's abhomestead22@gmail.com. Or if you ever have any questions, you can email me there as well. But that is all I've got. And it's only 6:06, guys. I put the little post on there saying that I'd be on until 6:30, but I don't know if that's going to happen. People might just have to catch the replay. I'm going to go grab that dressing that went on the salad. It's gonna be yummy, guys. It is. You could totally spice this sauce up too if you wanted to add like cayenne powder or chili powder or all sorts of powders. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So, I don't know if you're going to get this far, Cashlyn. But Cashlyn, this was the sauce from our trip, okay? So, I'm going to send you this video just for you so that you know how to make that meal, okay? Cashlyn is my nephew. No, niece. Niece. I always get this confused. Niece. And she was with us on our vacation, and so she got to enjoy lots of nutrient-dense from-scratch meals that I made. And it was kind of funny because every time she said, "Oh my gosh, this is so good," I said, "Oh, well, it's on my YouTube channel." So she went ahead and subscribed. So that is the sauce recipe, Cashlyn. She loved it. It was delicious. So anyway, all right, you guys, if anybody else wants to comment down below, go ahead. If you have any suggestions or questions, I'll stay on for like another minute or so, and if not, then we'll just cut it. I know probably Kathy's watching and can't comment, so Kathy, if you have any suggestions, email me. Jackie's not on here because she would be typing away. What else are we missing? We're missing Ancestral Health and Nutrition. Where are you, girl? I don't remember her name. Oh, hang on. Starts with a C. Carissa? Something like that. Anyway, we're missing you. Who else isn't on here? I know Judy's not on here. Who else? I can't remember who else is usually here. We haven't seen some people in a really long time. People's lives have kind of gotten busy, I think. I don't know. All right, guys. Everybody's too quiet. There's nothing to talk about. So I guess we will catch up with each other in the next video. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments and or email me. Let's talk about it. All right, you guys have a great night, and I will see you next Tuesday. All right, take care.